Well, welcome back everybody. My name's Andrew and you're watching the Kelly's Country Life. So we do a lot of firewood on the channel, and something that I started a while back was checking moisture content, specifically of the firewood that I'm putting in the IBC totes. That's something new to me, and kind of just wanted some data points to see how quickly it's drying back here in the shade, which is a good storage spot for me, versus how quick it dries in racks, etc. So this data, while I don't really know what I'm going to do with it just yet, it may give me information to know how long I can expect a certain amount of wood to be ready for customers, myself, if I need to store in the sun to speed up drying, if storing back here is okay, where it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, the way I prefer it to be, or if I need to really consider going back to doing just racks down the road. So today we're going to grab some of those numbers. I've already did one of these videos, so I do have some data points from the last video. A lot of people showed interest in it, asked me to keep doing it. What we're going to do is keep testing a piece that I have a painted X on in every one of these totes. I'm going to check the external moisture and see how much it's dropping from the original number that I got. Then we're going to crack a piece open to check the internal moisture, because obviously that'll be much different than what's on the outside. So let's get started. So I ain't gonna lie, one thing I'm quite nervous about with doing this is wasp. We have tons of wasp in Florida. 'Tis the season. And I didn't think about, I wonder if they're going to build a nest underneath this thing, because they love staying out of the weather and out of the rain. I don't know if plastic totes is something they'll want to attach to, but we're about to find out. You might be about to get a good laugh, and I might be about to get tore up. I'm dreading this. All right, so we've got a lot of new people that have came over to the channel since the last time I've done one of these videos. Let me show you all what I've got going on. I have made some aluminum cards and got me a paint pen, and I wrote down the original date, the percent moisture that I tested on that day, and what type of wood was in here. This is water/red oak. Both are in the red oak family. You can see this is the external piece that I keep checking. I put a painted X on it, and what we'll do is we'll dig, say, like a piece like this out that's more toward the middle. We'll split it open today and we'll check the moisture content. Also, on the back side of this card, I wrote the date of the last time we checked, what the external moisture was and what the internal was. So we'll keep this thing going. Let's see how quick this stuff dries in this Florida sunshine. All right, so I have purchased a moisture meter off of Amazon. If you're interested in anything like this, it's always down in our Amazon store, anything that we use on the channel. And we're going to check in a couple different spots on this. So originally, this piece was 47.5% moisture. Very high, but it was green. About 2 months ago when we tested, it was 33 on the outside. That is a huge drop already in my mind. Let's see if it's dropped even more. 15%. There's no way. 15.4. Now this was the upside, which is catching the most sunlight and heat. The backside already feels cool to the touch. Let's just check it out of curiosity. 12.9. Holy moly. There's no way. We'll just keep checking. 13.5. This isn't even possible. I'm pushing as hard as I can. 14.2. So that's crazy. I'm curious to see, once we split it open, obviously that's going to be much higher, if it's dropped that much on the internal moisture reading as the last reading we got. But insane. I was curious if the tops was going to make a greenhouse effect and kind of leave these damp. That doesn't appear to be the case. So this is a pretty substantial piece, at least for us, for recreational burning. This one should still have a lot of moisture on the inside. Let's crack it open and see. I can tell you that already sounded dry when it cracked. I know this is going to have a high reading. Feels moist to the touch, but It's got a bowling pin sound to it. Very interesting. Yeah, that feels damp to the touch. It's like the moisture has absolutely pulled to the center. I can either see some moisture in the sunlight here. We're gonna get a much higher reading on this. All right, so let's check this out. It's reading high. I don't know if y'all can see that in the sunlight. 27%. Not as high as I was thinking. Let's try another section. 26.6. 24.9, and I'm going with the grain. Some people have said, hey, if you go with the grain or against the grain, you get different readings. Let's see. It's against the grain. 24.6. Same exact reading as the last with the grain. So I don't know if that matters. This is technically ready to burn. This is blowing my mind. 3 months, and we're not even in summer. It's actually been kind of rainy and cool here lately. Now, don't get me wrong. We've had some 80-degree days and some even one 90-degree day, which is crazy for this time of year. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Huh. Here's what's real crazy. The last time I cracked a piece open and checked the inside, just, what, 2 months ago, 50% moisture. Today, we just got 24 to, what, 26. So I'm just going to put 25. All right, it's like playing the lottery, removing these tops. When am I going to get stoned? Huh. So far, so good. I like it. Now, as you can see, that's much more in the shade now, which we just recently got all these leaves on the tree. Before that, this was catching sunlight too. So here's the piece with the X on it. Originally, was reading 34.5% when I first put it there. Then when we done the last test, it was down to 25 to 28. I took a few different readings. Let's see where it's at today. $17.5. Really? 14.8. Now this side feels damp to the touch, although it's not where I read last time. 16. I guess just because it's cool. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's grab a piece and crack it. All right, so I grabbed a piece out of the kind of about the same area right here on that stack. Let's bust this open. I mean, it's not a huge piece for y'all up north. This is what we would typically recreational burn with, but it's solid. No rot, good solid piece of wood. That already sounds pretty dry too. All right, I didn't want to flip the pieces. That's both insides right there. Let's check. Feels damp, but I guess it's just because it's cool. Now we're talking 35%. 36. Let's check this other piece. It's a little more like it. Wow, 44 right there. And 34. That was just an unusual spot. Yeah, for some reason, wet down here just in this section. $37. 39. So it looks like 37 to 39 range, other than this one damp section. I don't know why. Maybe it was toward the outside catching some rainwater or something. 37 to 39. Let me go pull the number and see what it was last time. I do believe it was 50% moisture internally. So no matter what, this has dropped quite a bit in such a short amount of time. And I should add, it's only been 5 weeks, a little over a month since I last tested this. That's why it hasn't dropped as much as that other one. That one's been out here 2 months longer, if I remember correctly, almost 2 months. So in 5 weeks, we have dropped that much on moisture. It pegged out at 50%. Now we're down to 37 to 39. I'm just gonna put 38. This is dropping way quicker than I would have ever expected. Woohoo! I ain't getting stung today, boys. All right, this is gonna be an interesting test here. This wood has been split and tested the longest, but this is live oak. See how stringy it is? It's the densest wood that I have around here that I'm aware of, at least as far as what we use for firewood. So I'm really curious about these numbers. Still feels quite heavy. Now, when I first split this stuff, I was getting around 40% moisture according to that tag. The last time I tested it was 30, I think it just said 34, 35%. I'll double check that again. Let's see what it's reading now. 11.9. Nope. Seriously. 9.9. 8.9. And obviously that's because these prongs can't get so far in here. 9.2. Most impressive. Densest wood, but it's been out here the longest. 9% on the outside. I mean, come on, man. That's what kiln dried lumber is. And according to the tag, the last time I split a piece, 50% moisture. So pegged my meter out. Now, I'll admit these pieces are small, but that's one reason I split them small. I'm thinking about doing bundles down the road if I wind up with enough firewood, and I wanted them to dry quick. Obviously, I don't think it takes much science to realize the smaller a piece of wood, the quicker you'll get the water out. So this is the inside. Let's grab the meter and see if it's still anywhere near 50%. Judging by the sound when it cracked open, no. 28.8 is as high as I can see right there. 17. Nah, for real. 28.2. I'm pushing hard as I can, even bending my prongs. So 28% moisture. This is just about ready to burn. Not quite, but very close. And it's only been out here a little over 3 months. 3 months and a week or two, it looks like, according to the tag. Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I see no reason thus far to have to move this anywhere. I can store all the firewood in the shade I want. Apparently we're getting enough heat and enough wind. It's drying it out great. I thought the Florida humidity would really mess with this stuff, but as of right now, it's not. We've got one more piece to test, and I'm excited about this one. I'll explain why in just a second. All right, so the next piece, I'm going to pull off that rack over there, and here's why I'm excited about it. I split that wood off the same exact tree that I just tested, the live oak, 1 day apart from the tote. So now I have a good comparison between a single row open rack that I think is going to air dry much quicker than a packed tote. We're going to compare that number. I've got both of them wrote down over there from the last test. We already know what they were originally, was 47.5% is what we started out with. Oh, I'm sorry, 40% on that one is what we originally started with. I got one over there with an X. We'll test it. We'll split a piece. My gut says the rack's drying even quicker, but based off of what I'm seeing right now, who cares? We've still got many, many, many months to go before we're burning wood again. And at the rate this is drying, it's going to be ready in another month or two. I mean, this is just insane. Insane. Now, you will see me being a little careful over here because I have already noticed I have wasp nests over here on my rafters. Now, I'm going to go ahead and admit to you, I can't find the piece that I put the X on last time, so we're going to start with a new piece here. I think it's right under that guinea wasp nest, and I don't have no spray with me, so we're going to keep the video rolling here. I'll deal with those guys later. But external numbers, I don't know if it matters much anymore. This piece was split same day out of the same batch of wood. Should be a pretty accurate comparison. So 40% is what we originally started out with. Then it went down to 35% on that over there. Let's see here. 12.2. 13.1, 9. And you see how thin this is? That's ready to burn. I don't really have no big pieces over there, but we're gonna crack one anyways. Again, recreational burning in Florida. We don't really heat houses. We don't have big wood stoves. We like to throw it in the fire pit. We want it dry. We want it to flame up quickly and look good. So we split our stuff small. All right, so I pretty much destroyed that piece, busting it in 3 to 4 different sizes there. So now I'm left with splinters, but that's okay. You can see the color, damp, that's the inside. There's the dry outside. Let's test it after we turn our meter on. All right, so 26.9, 26.4, and 29, as high as I could get. Exactly what split wood was over there. So I guess for the moment, that answers that open drying in a rack versus in a tote. What I'm seeing at the moment, internal is still almost exactly the same. So that's good. Totes are so convenient, I'll be honest with you. Even if these dry much slower, and I still think they should, I'm sticking with them. They're so convenient. So I forgot to tell you, on the original numbers, or second testing of numbers on that particular piece of wood, was 20 external, so pretty big improvement there, and 32.5 internal. So not a huge improvement there, but definitely several percent better. So overall, everything is consistently drier. So consistent that unless I've got a problem with my meter, this stuff is drying way quicker than I ever realized. So one thing I got to thinking about with this data, it's going to be awesome. At least this is the most common types of wood other than cherry, and cherry dries even quicker. So now I can know that, say, anything that I split up through maybe even June or July might be ready by spring of the following year, and I can still burn it when it's cool. Because it's looking like 4 to 6 months, realistically, this wood can be ready to burn. So that's going to be awesome numbers to know at a certain point of the year that this wood will be ready for the upcoming season, or I'll have to stop and let it continue to season for the following burning season. So that's going to be some good numbers to know right there. As of right now, I'm very impressed with how quick this stuff is drying in the totes. You can see some of them's catching more sun than others, but it doesn't really seem to be matter. They are all dropping like crazy. I almost hooked up to these and put them out in the sun to speed the drying up, but I'm so glad I come down here and got the numbers today, because there's no point in going through the trouble of moving all these. As a matter of fact, as the future goes on, I'm probably just going to continue to stack them deep right here. Yeah, I'll have to pull them out as I sell or burn. That's okay. It's no big deal. I can come down with a tractor and pull 2 to 3 rows deep in just a few minutes. Won't be a problem. And I'll figure out more storage down the road. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I know it was just kind of a bunch of numbers, but y'all seem to enjoy this kind of like myself. Very intriguing. Not the numbers I was expecting at all. We haven't even got into summer yet. I can't imagine when it's just 90-degree day after day after day, what's going to happen here. Of course, this is already tricking me. 90-degree days may not dry this out as quick. It could cause that greenhouse effect that I'm worried about in there. It might hold moisture in the top and could affect the wood. I don't know anymore. Common sense says, yeah, it's going to dry it out even quicker, but who knows? Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. And it's got to be much higher, but I'm curious to see if it's a lot less than the last pilly. I don't know what to do about this tongue, man. It's always getting in the way. I just remembered, I forgot to tell y'all the original numbers on that wood. External was 20% and internal was, I don't forgot. Go back. Ooh, almost got it.